Hey everyone, we just got finished with some updates to the volunteer equipment and credential website, and I want to give you a little bit of instruction for the vehicle area on the site. That's primarily where we have been working on updating some things and making some changes. So I'm going to ask each of you chairmen to go in. If you have vehicles on your request, that would be vehicles that you've ordered under Son of Fun Rentals or your own personal vehicles or any personal vehicles for your volunteers, you're going to need to go in and review your vehicle orders and make some changes to the vehicles that you currently have on record, and then any new ones, I'll go through that process with you as well. So let's get started here. So of course you're going to click on the credential tab on the site, and then you're going to go to, we're going to start with a volunteer record here. So we're going to go to a volunteer who has a vehicle on their record, and we're going to click on the gear and then the order credential tab. Most of you are familiar with the quick edit form. This is just kind of gives you an overview of what's on the record without having to dive down into it. But in this case, we're going to dive a little further by clicking the order credential button. And those of you who are familiar with this is the page where we are ordering our wristbands and our parking pass if a volunteer doesn't require to be on site. So right here is where you're going to order a parking pass for lot 1, lot 2, or lot 3. That means they're not bringing their car onto the convention site. Again, also this is where you're going to order the ID for your volunteer. If you have a volunteer that needs to order an ID, I'll just share this with you quickly. If you click on this button, of course, Becky looks like an airplane in this particular picture, but this is where you would go in and upload your volunteer's picture and then close it out, and we have a record of it, and then your volunteer ID gets ordered. So back to vehicles. So if you have a volunteer and all they're doing is they need a parking pass for lot 1, 2, or 3, this is where you will order it here in this field and basically just select off-site parking. Okay. And then, so if you have a volunteer that needs to bring a vehicle on site for operational use or to park on site, you have to do things a little bit more. We have to have a little bit more information. So you're going to click on the volunteer tab, and of course, we've been playing in this area, so there's a lot of not real vehicles here. These are some of our little test cases, but I'm going to actually go in here and click on Becky's record here. This gear is where you're going to go to do that. So operationally, before I do that, I want to give you one change here. We've added some icons to this layout. So by just looking at this, the little green steering wheel will tell you that an operational pass has been ordered for this particular volunteer's car. And then either parking passes or A-stick passes have been ordered for the rest of these vehicles. So an A-stick pass, for those of you who have been here for, that's the sticker that we put on our golf carts, which is our authorization sticker. That's why we call it A-stick. So in order to go in and see the changes we've made, we're going to click on this gear here, and we're going to go in. Of course, we have another quick view mode. This kind of just gives you an overview of what we have on that particular record. If you're just doing a check, you can go in and look at it this way. But for this particular new update, you're going to need to actually go completely in, because there's some fields that you're going to need to populate for us that are new. So you're going to go into update vehicle. Now you will see that this particular vehicle, again, it tells you that it's operational use only, or operational use. It's been requested. And then all of her information is already in here. It's a personal vehicle. When you're on a volunteer's record, the only type of vehicle that you can order is personal. So at this point, you can order, you can state personal, and then you have a drop down here where you can make a selection of whatever type of vehicle that you are ordering for that volunteer. And then, of course, the PV category comes up, and then you would put your quantity in. And then, because the vehicle is being used operationally on the field, we do need to have more information on the particular vehicle. We need the make and model, the year, the tag number, and the insurance information. So that much really hasn't changed from previous years, but we've cleaned up the process a little bit and made it where it's basically going to make you provide that information. So the next step is our zones. So as most of you know, we've made a change in our vehicle passes this year, and we have divided our site up into zones, and most of you have become familiar with where some of those are, but in case you need a refresher or you haven't really had an opportunity to look at the map yet, the map is located on the site, and you just click on this little button and it will give you the different zones that we have divided the site up into, A, B, C, or D. It will also let you know where the different lots are located. So if you do have a volunteer that is only going to be parking in one of the lots, you can let them know what lot number would be best for whatever location they're volunteering in. So you need to make sure that you kind of learn the zones, and then so you will in the operational use area, you can select as many zones as you need in order to operate. So you can do all 4 if you would like, or you can just do, any combination that you want. So Zone B, of course, there are certain areas in Zone B where a core pass is required, and in Zone D, there is a certain areas where the ramp sticker is required. So as you see, when I click on B or C or unclick, the zone and the ramp will go away. So unless you're selecting those areas, you will not be able to select a core or a ramp for those areas. So as we move forward here, the next thing is the operational need or reason that you need to have an operational vehicle here on site. What service are you providing? What is that vehicle going to be doing when it's rolling here on the site? So once you've provided that is a required field. It has to be filled out. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to tell me where this car is going to be parked when it is not operational. So this is a drop down, and what this drop down will provide you are all the locations that we currently have listed for the zones that you have selected. So I have selected B, C, and D. So you'll notice that some of them are B, some are C, some are D. You will only be able to select one. So that is where you plan to park your car when it is not in use. And we need that information. Again, that is a required field. If you click on a particular field that requires a zone sticker, or I keep calling it zone sticker, a ramp sticker or a core sticker, then it will pop up and tell you that it's required. And if you have not selected it, then you will need to select it. So if you go into, let me find one here so the Warbird ramp. Okay, so we've selected Warbird ramp here, but I have not selected a ramp sticker over here. When I go to update, it will tell me that I need a ramp sticker in order to park my car on the Warbird ramp, or to be operational on the Warbird ramp. So and then the same, that acts the same way for a core sticker as well. So when you're working in this environment and you see an area that is not listed, this is a list that we can manipulate, but we've given a lot of thought to the particular areas that we're offering. So if you don't see something that you think needs to be added, please send me an email and we will review it to see if it needs to be added to the list, or we will give you an alternate location as to where or not what you need to list in that requested parking location. So I'm going to go ahead and select a ramp on here so it will let me save the record. So again, it's set me back to the table where we started, but if you go back into the record, you will see that it kept my updates in here. Okay, so if you decide that this vehicle, I'm gonna actually go back here and go into one so I don't mess up Becky's car. All right, so if you're in a parking and you decide that that vehicle needs to be an operational vehicle, you will be able to go back and forth between the types. So we're back in to an operational layout like we just left, but I wanted to show you that you could go in and change the type of vehicle that you're requesting by just going back and forth with this tab here. So it's not gonna let me. Okay, it's gonna force me to do what we said we were gonna do here. So bear with me for just a second and y'all will get a quick on what you need to do here. And this is fictitious, but you're not supposed to put fictitious stuff in. I need the real information, so please provide the real information. But just to get us through this process, I'm putting fictitious information. But you can see how it required me to put that information in. So now when I hit update, it will take me back to the listing. So in order to do a parking, which the layout is much simpler than an operational, you'll see we're in on-site parking. Again, because you're in a volunteer record, it's only going to allow you to select personal. At this point, you can do your four-wheeler, your car, truck, personal golf cart, motorcycle, scooter. Then you've got your, since it's on golf cart, this is PG for personal golf cart, and your quantity is 1. So here, golf carts only do A-sticks. If you were to change this to a car, then you're going to get your zone layout again. The zone layout works pretty much like it does in the operational area, where except for you can only select one zone to park your vehicle in. So I'm going to select A, which is the campground. Of course, you need to tell me why this car needs to park on site, and then you're going to only get zone A's in the drop down. Okay, and then you would be able to select one from that drop down. If you change it to B, then you're going to get drop downs from the zone B. And again, if you're selecting an area that requires a core pass and you haven't selected one, a window will pop up and tell you that you need a core pass. Okay, so I'm going to select one here, and then we're going to update. Takes you right back to the table, and everything should be good to go there. So these are existing vehicles that we went and we looked at, and then we have, if you need to add a vehicle, works the same way, the layouts are the same, but you're going to click on this button and you have the option of on-site parking or for operational use, and then whichever one you select takes you to the layouts that we just reviewed. Okay, so I'm going to go back now to the layout, and I'm going to select myself because I'm the chairman of this area, and I'm going to go into vehicles again. And so the chairmen are allowed to order the Sun and Fun rental vehicles. This includes the Sun and Fun golf carts or courtesy cars. So as you can see, I've got a couple of golf carts on my list currently that are pretty much static from year to year, but you can go in now and look at the layout. And of course, I've already, been in here and tweaked mine, but I need each of you to go in and look at these areas to make sure that the information is in the way that you need it to be. The same thing with the add the vehicle works the same way. If you add a vehicle here and for operational use, I'm sorry, I went into on-site parking, so I'm going to go into operational use. Again, you have to put the information in here. If you select, first of all, if you're selecting Sun and Fun, you have the option of courtesy cars or golf cart rentals. So I'm going to select a courtesy car here as a vehicle, and it will you pick the day and the time. You don't need to do tops and lights, that's for golf carts, but you pick your day and your time that you think you need the car. As you can see, there's not asterisks there, so you don't need it. But one thing you will see with this car request, it's not asking you for insurance or anything like that. It's just asking you for like when you want to pick the car up. But you do need to tell me who this vehicle would be assigned to, and then and the reason that you need it down here, and then the zones. And again, this is an operational use, so you can select as many zones as you need. The other type of vehicle, or the courtesy car, and then let's see, I think that's it as far as, well, we have Sun and Fun vehicles, which are vehicles owned by Sun and Fun that some areas use, but they're covered by our insurance, so the insurance should not show up on that as well. So so that kind of gives you an overview of what the chairman can kind of do differently. Of course, a chairman can add a personal vehicle as well. So if we wanted to make this a personal vehicle, we could do that as well. Okay. And then of course you could also flip over to the parking on site only as well. Okay. And then, but on this one, you'll need to do just because. No, I need a real reason, guys. Need a real reason. But to get through the thing, I'm just gonna put just because. Oh, and I didn't put who this is assigned to. See, it's catching me. It's all new to everybody, so don't feel pressured, just review. And of course, if questions come up, you can certainly get a hold of me. And it's not, oh, what is it looking for? Oh, I didn't finish the order. Okay, so I'm getting me a 15 passenger van, yay. Okay, so as you can see, now that I've added this and I've added the zones, it's asking me again where the parking is going to be. So it's gonna flag you. You're going to need to know. It's going to tell you what you need to provide. So again, if you have any questions, let me know. And we're all going to get used to this together. And it's not going to be perfect, but we're going to do the best we can. If you've got any questions, please give me a call. Thank you guys so much. Look forward to talking with each and one of you, and I hope everybody has a great event.